All right, Cade Cunningham speaks on actually uh JB Bickerstaff. They're doing exit interviews and wrapping up, the end of the season officially for them. Um and a lot of people speaking. So Cade Cunningham speaks on Pistons coach amazing approach. Cade had a lot of positive things to say about JB Bickerstaff, so let's get into it. You got Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree. Start the first link in the description. You can find me wherever I'm producing content there. So there's a reason. Shout out to Piston on SI.com. There's a reason why JB Bickerstaff was in the running for NBA Coach of the Year, while Cade Cunningham can take a lot of credit for the Detroit Pistons turnaround win from 14-win season to a trip to the playoffs at the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference. It all started with the first-year Pistons head coach. Quote, he's been amazing, Cunningham told reporters following the Pistons playoff run. He's done so many things. Bickerstaff might have been in the first year as the Pistons head coach, but he's far from a rookie. With prior experience in Houston, Memphis, Cleveland, Bickerstaff was taking on his fourth head coaching job since 2015. So the Pistons were banking on Bickerstaff being the guy to help turn around the team and didn't get what it needed from Monty Williams despite investing a ton into the former coach. The investment paid off thanks to Bickerstaff's approach, according to the Pistons top star. Quote, his X's and O's, putting us in the right position, allowing us to play to our strengths, has been what's allowed us to have the year that we had, Cunningham explained. Continue, quote, the way he's inspired us every day, the way he pushed us, I've never been a part of anything like that group that was so willing to buy in. I mean, two things that kind of stand out. Well, a few things that stand out. It's pretty much, sometimes it's hard or it's easy to get a group to buy in that been losing like they've been losing. From a simple standpoint, Beasley on a 1-year deal, Tobias on a 2-year deal, Tim Hardaway on a 1-year deal. They was hungry to turn it around because they wanted to get more money eventually. Dusty Hardaway probably one last big payday. Okay. And then the other aspect, it can be hard because, guys' morale can just be destroyed. As a unit, they could have just gave up and say, well, it's the third or fourth coach. I mean, maybe we just suck and I really don't care. So really he had a guys that was willing to be, transformed from a ball of clay into a basketball team. So that's always good when you have willing guys, and basically they was just broken all the way down and they like, all right, man, we just gonna listen to this guy. He talks about the X's and O's and playing to their strength. I've always said that there's so many people that believe that these players should just shoot threes. Everybody should be built like Golden State. That's why the Celtics in the 1-2 hole right now. Everybody just playing that way. Like, no, play to your strength. You don't have to be a great 3-point shooter to start to thrive in this league, or a great 3-point team to thrive in this league. If you attack the basket, you get to the free throw line, you play your game and sprinkle that in where it fits within the offense, you'll be strong. With Dwayne Casey, was take a whole bunch of threes. Monty kind of started them to kind of not just settle for threes. Let's start taking high percentage shots. But what he really didn't preach, his passion wasn't there. The passion, he didn't want to be here. So you can tell. So you got JB Bickerstaff here who come from Cleveland, where for the most part they wanted to play a lot of isolation basketball. Whether it was Donovan Mitchell, he loved to dominate the ball. Garland loved to dominate the ball. And I can see where the disconnect is in Cleveland, is that they don't want, a guy like Mitchell and Garland, they don't want to, pass the ball. They don't want to cut. They don't want to play off the ball. Mitchell want that ball in his hand all the time. When Garland got the, in there, he want the ball in his hands all the time. So that's why Cleveland won't succeed. Kenny Atkinson, Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, Tubby Smith, whoever you want to get, it's not going to work. You can't win a championship even when you got Donovan Mitchell scoring all these points. That's not sustainable. One, he always injured, and two, you can't win the basketball a championship with one guy scoring the way he's doing. Why you think OKC kind of struggling? It had, when you look at Minnesota, Denver, Detroit, when you look at how they share the basketball, that's championship winning game. And I see why he's no longer in Cleveland anymore, in Houston, as well. When you see why he's not in Cleveland no more. Donovan Mitchell didn't want to take the ball out of his hand. And you know what I find funny about that before I finish this video is, even Phil Jackson was able to convince the great Michael Jordan, look, if you take the ball out your hand, the game will become easier. Let's let this kid Scottie Pippen, let's trust your teammates. Let's get you off the ball. And Michael Jordan started winning after that. And Jordan started winning. And one thing I like about Cade, he don't mind playing off the ball. And you kind of heard, like, one thing that kind of raised my antennas when he got the job, Bickerstaff was like, oh, we could stagger him and Ivy minutes. I ain't like that. Because it's something similar that he did in Cleveland with Garland and Mitchell. And now, they was playing together and they moving the ball, they cutting. He got Durham playing in the high post and he passing the ball pretty well. So, it's only a handful of offense handful of teams that run offense. When I watch Houston, I see them running some real plays. When I consistently Denver, I love them. Minnesota, love it. Detroit, what I'm saying? They actually running real plays. It's not isolation basketball. So that's one thing that I wasn't sure when he came in. Was he going to implement? I can see why he's not in Cleveland no more. And Cleveland can see why, whether it's JB or whether it's Kenny Atkinson, they can't get out the second round. Really, they shouldn't have got out the first round last year. They got lucky. He said he means a lot to the whole group. Cunningham sent a Bickerstaff quote. We wanted to play hard for him every night. We wanted to succeed for him every night. He couldn't ask for anything better than that. We couldn't ask for anything better than that. A coach like that who believes in you and pushes you at the same time. He has the basketball genius where he can make plays and get you points on his own. So basically, what he's basically telling you is that we running plays. We actually have structure. We actually have discipline. We actually have go-to plays. We actually got plays where I don't have to have the ball in my hand. We actually got our Dan Campbell, rah guy. Now Dan is kind of seen more as a remedial coach, but that's not the case. I mean, when I look at it, no, he seems to be. I think he's smarter than people get credit for, like a lot smarter. Listening to Ben Johnson and reading what he had to say, everything Dan does is calculated. I think Dan is kind of like the show. It's the show. The show is, oh, I'm a meathead. We're gonna buy kneecaps, but behind the scenes, he's the evil scientist, bro. I think you've seen those cartoons where the guys the hero or the villain is a nerd or whatever like that, but and is when he put on his costume and shit, he the shit. He the hero or the villain. So yeah, I like this, man. Shout out to Cade, man. Shout out to JB. See what they can cook up next year. Check out Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Hit the link in the description, the link tree. Check me out everywhere there, from X, Instagram, or whatever I got going on there. I appreciate y'all. Check out Detroit Piston Talk playlist. Peace.